Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. It's been a long time, I feel like, since I've seen you guys, and I've missed you so much. I'm glad to be in the studio. We have a very exciting show today. I have couple guests here. I have my niecey Pooh, who is here with me, Jazz B, and I also have my special guest. His name is Brian, and he is going to Hickerson, and he's going to come on and he's going to shed some light on us. And we're going to talk about toxic relationships today. But before we get into that, it's Wind Down Wednesday, so I got to let y'all know what I'm sipping on. I hope y'all sipping with me today. So today I have we already been pre-gaming, y'all, so I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. But I have some sweet lemon wine, and it's a sweet white wine, and so we're just gonna have a little bit today. Yes, and y'all see we've been having fun, so the bottle was all gone. That's how you know it's a good wine when it's all gone. So we got our wine. I got my mom's sippy cup with me. Y'all see it? Mama sippy cup. Very sweet, very refreshing. So again, I'm gonna bring my homie on, Brian, and we're about to get started. Before I get started, though, I wanted to say, if you've been on my page and you've been watching me for a while, you see that I just went to the NAACP Freedom Fundraiser Dinner, and it was an amazing event. We had so much fun. It was beautiful. One of our own unsung heroes, Walter Patton, who I did an interview on last week, he was on there. He received an award along with Maisha, and it was just an amazing event. Support them, Ghetto Therapy, every Wednesday. Go look at his page. Check it out. It's a wonderful thing. And he also got an award for his Create Art Not Violence initiative. Amazing. So if you're into that thing and you need some therapy, group session therapies, it's awesome. Go check it out. And I'm going to bring on my special guest. Let's go.
Hey,
Hey, what's up,
what's going
Brian?
on, everybody? Bless, peace, and
What's
blessings.
going on?
Blessings, peace and love, peace and love.
Yes,
Yeah,
peace and love. So, how are you today?
75 and sunny, no chance of rain, baby.
I know that's right. So
Yeah,
let's talk about first. I want you to tell everybody what you do, and let's talk about that first.
well, my name is Brian, also known as DJ Cut So Fresh from the 216 DJs, also known as Barber for the Stars. I'm a barber at Professional Custom Styles, and you can also kind of sort of say motivational speaker as well.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So again, Brian, I know you were listening in. We got my I call her my niecey Pooh, Jazz B. She's in the studio today, and so we're gonna be talking about some things. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I definitely wanted to bring you on here so we could get some of your insight, is we wanted to talk about toxic relationships. Anybody who has been following me or on my Facebook page, you'll see that we've been having a very spirited, I will say, discussion about relationships and the state of Black relationships today, and just where Black people are, Black women, Black men. And I have been really surprised by some of the response that I've been getting on media. It's the trip, y'all. I don't know if you've seen some of it, Brian. Have you seen some of the comments and some of the things?
Actually, I haven't. Has it been positive?
Well, it has been a trip, I will say, nonetheless. It's been some positive and it's been some negative. But one of the things that really, stick out to me is I posted a post. If for you guys that don't know, I posted a post and I talked about how, basically from a Black woman's perspective, because I want to first start by saying that I can only talk from the perspective of a Black woman because I am a Black woman, right? And so one of the things that I was talking about, I said that, because there's been a lot of men who state that Black women, we only are out for money and what we can get. And I made the comment that for the most part, Black women, if they are number one, loved, feel like they are in a safe, secure environment, a place, have a safe, secure place where they can feel safe in their emotions, and that they have time, are given time and attention, you will find a loyal woman who will stay connected to you, stay by your side. Because at the end of the day, we all need love, right? So that's what I was talking about. And from that, I got like a plethora of comments. A lot of men referring to a lot of the, I would say, the Kevin Samuels ideology about, black women. So I want to let you, before I, give my input, my insight, I want to let you chime in and see what you feel about that.
I don't know. I'm kind of from the old school a little bit, right?
Okay.
Uh, I accept all different kind of concepts and ideologies about relationships, uh, and I don't think there's no right or no wrong. I think it's what fits the person or the people. Uh, I've had some relationships in my life, and I've pretty much done everything imaginable to make it work. There are two things I did not do. I did not pray for my significant other, and I did not pray.
Mm, mm,
Two, I did not seek outside counseling.
that's good. Oh, I think we, okay, Brian. I think we were losing you for a minute.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had a call coming in. I did
That's
not,
okay.
yeah, I did not seek outside counseling, and I did not pray with my significant other uh, because I wasn't taught to do that. I might say some things on here that's going to make a couple guys mad, but I'm going to keep it 1,000.
Please do, because I feel like these are the kind of conversations we need to have, because we don't have these type of conversations, and that's why we keep missing each other.
So I'm talking about, the, listen, I was misinformed by the misinformed, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
Misinformed by the misinformed. When I can only speak for me, I can't speak for all gentlemen. I can only speak for me and my experience and the guys that I grew up with and what we started to believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The oxymoron is, here's the oxymoron with
Okay.
the black woman and the black man.
Okay.
Most, not all, most of us, I can do what I want to do with you, but you can't do that to my mother.
Mm,
You better not do that to my mother or my sister or my grandmother,
that's good.
right? But here's the
That's
thing.
true.
But here's the thing. Again, we talked about concepts, ideologies, and what I was taught to believe in. When I was 6 years old, I wasn't taught that I was a child of the Most High God. That was not drilled in me. It wasn't drilled in me that I was a king, and my mother and my grandmother, my sisters are queens. I wasn't taught how to love myself. I wasn't taught that it's okay to express my emotions or how I feel. I wasn't taught how to communicate effectively, not communicate effectively first with another man,
Hmm. I understand.
right? Now
Okay.
I'm a mama's boy, and I just found out maybe about a year ago that I thought I was this great communicator with the opposite sex. I wasn't. I wasn't. I wasn't none at all.
Okay.
I found myself to be very manipulative. Now you got to keep in mind, I didn't know that I was doing this because this is what I was taught to do. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I was taught to have a woman for every day of the week and don't trust her, right? I was taught.
Okay.
I was taught. Excuse my French. Purse first, ass last.
Say that one more time.
I was taught purse first, ass last.
Purse first, ass last. Wow. Okay.
That's what I was taught. And
Can you explain that for people who don't understand what that term really means?
if you're not doing nothing for me, there's nothing going on.
Mm.
Monetarily.
Okay.
I was taught to be like a prostitute.
Wow.
I was taught to be like a whore. But I believe that that's how it's was supposed to go. Nobody taught me the right way. Look, listen.
That's
Nobody
deep.
look. I was raised on 4th and Prospect in the 80s.
Okay.
I don't
That's
know.
that environment.
That's that
That was
environment.
the environment.
That's that environment. And unfortunately, thank God, God still had his mercy and his grace and his hands all over me. And then let's close that book and open another one. And then we was talking about this in the shop today too. I was sharing this information with a young lady.
Mm-hmm.
If a man and a woman says, okay, the art of dating is lost, first of all.
I would have to agree with you.
That's out the window.
So so I want to hit on that. Why do you think the art of dating is lost?
I think, and again, this is just my perception. I'm not saying this is for everyone. I'm just sharing my experience. Because it's a level of intimacy that has to take place with dating. It's a level of emotional and mental intimacy. And the way this world is designed, we're taught that we don't have time for that. Don't show no feelings, no emotions. Go get the bag.
And it's so interesting that you say that, Brian, because I do feel like, back in like when my mom and my parents were growing up, and even I would say, even in like the 80s, right? I would say that us as women, you heard songs about love. It was R&B music. It was for lovers only. I remember, guys, when they really liked the girl, they gave you a mixtape and that they taped off the radio, for lovers only. And we would tape our call. Like I just want to give a shout out to my
Right,
girl,
right,
let her know I love you, baby. I'm thinking
right,
of you.
right.
It was all of those levels of let me show you I care about you. Let me show you that I am here for you. And now we seem like we're in a a situation like the reality of what today is. It's very transactional when it comes to relationships.
Well, is it okay for me to speak?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay. um, I had to do a little bit more homework, and I'm still working on it. I don't have it down. But one of the things I understand about relationships is I had to break the whole word down. But the most important relationship I thought was the relationship that was horizontal.
Mm.
Man, woman. That's not the most important relationship. The most important relationship is vertical.
And talk about that a little bit more. What you mean by
The
that?
vertical relationship. The vertical relationship. Me and God, me and my creator.
Absolutely. Okay.
Now please do not get me misunderstood. I have an awesome relationship with God. Totally awesome. And I give all thanks and all praise to him. I was the child that watched a preacher get murdered in the church.
Mm. That's deep.
Right. And along with that, a whole bunch of other stuff that other people been through. But I'm saying that to say this. Relationship, read. First word, R-E, means to do over. Relate means to effectively communicate. And a ship, what does a ship do? A ship carries. So I have to continue, RE, relate, effective communicate, and continue to move forward in the ship. And a lot of us don't know how to do that based on trauma.
I agree with
Trauma.
you.
This is this is why everybody's afraid. Race, and this is just, again, I'm not speaking for everybody. This is just my perspective. Our race does not believe in looking outside of the house for help, because when we were growing up, we were told this beautiful quote: "What goes on in this house stays in this house."
We were taught that.
Right.
We were definitely taught that.
So
And we were also taught, I think that we were never taught how to deal with trauma as a people, especially in the Black community. We just drink away, smoke away, sex away trauma, instead of really taking the time to heal within yourself first. And we in our community now, it seems like the thing is, I've heard people say, oh, and I ain't gonna say I haven't even been like, oh, I've heard people say, the way to get over a man is to get under another. Men and women, I've heard use that term.
Right. Yeah, that's I've done that. But I've done that, and again, we're talking about where I was talking about being misinformed by the misinformed. Well, where did all the misinformation come from? It came all the way. It came all the way from when slavery started.
That's true.
The Willie Lynch letter. That's where everything. That's where everything went crazy at, and it's still happening today. But one of the things, what I'm experiencing today, there's it's virtually impossible, Michelle, for me to give anyone love if I'm not loving myself first. And check this out. This is just what I found out. And not love myself correctly if I'm not rocking with God some kind of way. Because I can't transmit something I don't have. It's impossible. I can't give you something I don't have. I got to know what love is first, and love is God.
And if we don't have an understanding of what love is, then how can we really love somebody past ourselves, right? Because from the time you're born, right, you're taught to be like babies are selfish. Everybody, when you're a baby, it's like, mine, I want this, give it to me. No, you don't want to share, you want it all to yourself. And a lot of people carry those behaviors throughout their life, in their lifetime. They never learn how to love outside of themselves, or even have empathy for other people. And I think that that's a lot of what we see now today. People are so selfish and so self-centered that they have not learned how to, like you said, effectively love, but also to think of other people.
Yeah.
We're so self-driven. I got to get mines before you get yours,
Yeah. I think I agree with that 100%. Also, let's just keep it all the way. Let's just keep it all the way 1,000.
Please do.
Right. We are the Hebrews. We are the chosen people. Right. And the enemy wants to separate us by whatever means necessary. And what I found out, if I don't understand where I come from, who I am, and whose I am, I really don't have a purpose. I don't have a purpose. I don't know what my gifts are. I don't have a purpose or none of that, man. And it's like I'm grateful that I'm woke at 56. I just turned 56. I'm grateful. I'm awake. You know what I'm saying?
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. But I'm grateful. I'm wide awake, man. Everybody, even myself in the last couple of years, one of the things that I did not know and I was operating in a trauma bond. I was in a trauma bond, and it was a triangle of anger, fear, and resentment. And I got so comfortable inside of there, it became a way of life, and I started to accept it. And a lot of it was I was pointing. I was pointing and not looking at myself and the part I play.
I think a lot of times, I think it's a lot of people that operate with trauma bonds, and it, I mean, for people who may not know, a trauma bond is when you find people a lot of times, and you can explain, but my understanding of a trauma bond is when somebody sleeps with different people to have some type of feeling of relief from their trauma. So they connect with people based on
Mhm,
their trauma,
mhm.
their experiences. A lot of times it becomes sexual because it's like, oh, I'm hurt, he hurt you, you a hurt person, you attract the same person that you are, or even sometimes the opposite of what you are, so that you can feel some type of emotion and feelings behind that bond.
Basically,
Would you agree? Mm-hmm.
yeah, basically, let's put each other in this blunt wrap and smoke each other until it's
Yeah,
all gone.
facts. Did you have
Basically,
something to say?
I was gonna say trauma bonding. I don't seen that take place in friendships as well. You share
yeah,
some type of common trauma that you done both been together. Probably don't have anything else in common, but the trauma that you guys both experienced. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm in total agreement with that. One of the things that I I believe this for sure, Michelle. Right? It's virtually impossible for me to stay comfortable. I cannot stay comfortable in my relationship, be it platonic, friendship, support group, whatever kind of relationship, brotherhood, sisterhood, uh, um, significant other. I believe that there are smooth roads, and then there becomes a time to where the growth process has to start, and we got to go through this ugly place so we can get to the smooth place again. I believe in my 56 years on this earth, every 7 years we change emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. We seven. Seven is the number of completion. So every 7 years we change. So it's a lot of work got to be done. Man, it's so much more than just being seen on social media, dressing nice, going to a party, hopping on a boat, hopping on a cruise or something, hopping on a plane. Nah, man. The intimacy, I think that's what we're afraid of. We're afraid of the intimacy, man. And a lot of us been
And I,
hurt. A lot of us been hurt. And then let me say this. I'm gonna be quiet, right? When it comes to the women, a lot of a lot of the sisters, a lot of the queens haven't had the needed relationship with their fathers,
mm,
right?
trauma.
Growing up to nurture them and tell them what to look for. And a lot of us men, we unfortunately, some of us, specifically the ones that dip off into domestic violence,
Mm-hmm.
uh, 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 fall off in the streets in the penal system. There was some stuff going on with us with our mothers.
Yeah, and I do,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
would definitely say that um your relationship with your parents are the first is the first relationship that teaches you about love, right? Typically, for men, your first bond, right, is with your mother. And if that bond is one of trauma, then it causes you to have a hard time when it comes to dealing with women. I also feel like when it comes to women, if you felt abandoned by a man or by your parents, a lot of times that will cause you to also seek validation or acceptance from men in whatever way you can get it, you know? And I think that we see that a lot in our
Yeah.
society, but how do we move past it? Because I feel like a lot of times we talk about, and I'm talking about, yes, definitely putting God first, making sure that you understand what love is, accepting love. I definitely can agree with that. But what are the tangible things? Because it's also, we have to do tangible things to improve our lives when we want different results. What they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Repeating the same mistakes and
Same mistakes. Yeah.
right, expecting a different result. I think I think a lot of the times I think we have to be still and listen for God to tell us what to do, because all of this stuff that's going on in the world, man, is everybody's afraid now. Everybody's afraid to walk to the corner store. So it's like people's afraid to go to the movie theater now. People are afraid to go to Walmart, for real. Everybody's afraid. Everybody walking around with
No,
guns.
you're right. You
So
absolutely right.
and then it was the COVID, and now they got the air all messed up now. Talking about the air quality is all bad. So now fear is FUCK everything and run instead of face everything and recover.
That's
Recover
very true.
recover from not from the things on the outside, from the things on the inside. Because look, Michelle, I'm either going to be a light or I'm going to be darkness. That's it, baby girl. I'm going to be light or I'm going to be the darkness. And I have to sharpen my listening skills. Not for the loud voice, for the soft voice, because God don't holler. He whispers.
Real talk. So I think that a lot of times also when it comes to someone put on here, they said we have to first look within and then we need time alone.
Right.
What is your response to that?
So I can't look within if I have, watch this here. And this is what a lot of us guys don't want to do. We would rather provide for the family, help out, be physically intimate with my significant other. But when it comes to how do you feel, sweetheart, our
Mm.
responses are, I'm good.
Yeah. And I was going to say one of the things that I have found that I see in a lot of relationships, right, is that when it comes to men and women, and I've said this many times on a podcast, that I feel like a lot of times men treat women they expect us to be soft and submissive and loving and caring and nurturing. But when it comes to our emotions, we are treated very masculine. We are, when a man responds to us, a lot of men respond to women in a very masculine way when it deals to their emotions. It's like, yo, get, you know what I'm saying? Get your mind right. What's wrong with you? You need to get it together, instead of really taking the time and making a woman feel safe when it comes to expressing her emotions and how she feels.
A lot of us, Michelle, a lot of us don't know how to respond to that. Because remember earlier on we were talking, and I was talking about how when we grew up, we were taught, we were misinformed by the misinformed. I'll give you a prime example. When the father has his 3 or 4 year old son on a tricycle, and he has his training wheels on, and he's pushing him down the street, and he falls off. He takes one training wheel off now. So he has one training wheel on, and he falls off and scrapes his knee. What does the father say after he scrapes his knee?
Get up. You'll be all right. Don't
And
cry.
say the last part again?
Don't cry.
Right there. Let's stop right there. At that young age, we were taught not to feel no kind of emotion.
Mm.
What are emotions? Emotions are energy and motion. And then when we start to feel it, what some of us guys do is this.
Push it down. Yeah.
Because we believe, and we were taught in high school, football team, basketball team, if you cry, if you
You
show your
weak.
emotions, you soft
You're
as
weak.
cotton. But if that was the
Very
truth,
true.
now watch how this walks into getting in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and trying to cultivate a relationship, a loving, lasting relationship with the queen. Watch how this walks into and creates a wall. If a guy cries, he's soft as cotton. if that was the truth, see, this is the stuff we needed to hear when we were 12, 13, or 14. It's okay to cry. It's okay to get in touch with your emotions, because if that was the truth, God wouldn't have gave us all tear ducts. He would only gave women tear ducts.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Gonna sip on that. I'm gonna sip on that.
That was the truth, because I know a lot of.
I'm gonna need you to repeat that one more time for the people in the back.
All right. Let me say this. Listen, from about 19 to about 40, I couldn't cry. I wouldn't allow tears to come down my face, because I was misinformed by the misinformed. And they told me, if you cry, you soft as drugstore cotton. Men don't do that. Well, if that was the truth, 25 years later, I want to be connected to this woman. I want to listen to this woman when she's crying, when she's hurting. But my belief systems told me, you don't do that. The truth of the matter is, if I'm supposed to love my wife, if I'm supposed to, this certain book says, husbands, love your wife.
That's true.
Love. You understand what I'm saying? Here, listen, most of the time, y'all just want to be heard. Y'all not looking for an answer.
Nope.
Y'all just want to turn our ears off. Y'all already got the answer. But it took me a long time to understand it. But anyway, let me stick to the topic and I'm going to be quiet. Rocking forward. And a lot of people who know me personally know I kind of used to be a nut and a hothead. Right? I'm not that anymore.
That's good.
Right? And for those in the back that didn't hear, not you, baby girl in the back, but I'm just saying, whoever else.
On the other side.
Right, on the other side. If God did not meant men to cry, he would have gave only women tear ducts. Crying or weeping. If Jesus wept, come on now. You hear me now? If he wept, come on now. I embrace the fact that tears coming down my eyes are a cleansing for me. It's a cleansing. And I'll do it in front of you, Michelle. I don't care. I'll do it in front of anybody. I don't care. Because there's a lot of trauma that's still coming up, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt and stuff. But, you know, yeah.
And I know for me, like being the type of person I am, like anybody who really know me know I am somewhat of a crybaby, right? I'm very in tune to my emotions and my feelings, and I want to talk about it all the time. It may come natural to me because I'm a woman, right? But I feel like one of the things that I feel that we need as Black men, Black women, are we need to have the ability to be vulnerable with one another. So I thank you for your transparency and your ability to be able to talk about your trauma, your fears, because I think that when we get to a place where we can talk about our trauma, when we get to a place where we can talk about our fears, when we can get to a place where we can be honest about our emotions and cover each other and protect each other in that, we will improve as a people, as a whole. One of the problems that I see in our community right now today, and that's just even working with young people, is how they don't know how to deal with conflict. They don't know how to deal with conflict.
So check this out. My generation is solely responsible for that. Why? Because the elders passed down. The elders passed down. Our grandmothers told us how to cook, told us how to clean. They told us the do's and don'ts. Yeah, our parents did, but the elders passed down. And my generation, a lot of my generation was either messed up on drugs or locked up.
Okay.
Flat or messed up some kind of way. So, but again, like, okay, meet somebody, right? You have to mentally stimulate my intellect. You have to be conscious and you have to know what's going on. Not with the world, with us. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
With us.
That's real.
That's the attraction. You know what I'm saying? With us as a people, man.
That's true.
We the chosen. We are the chosen ones. We're the chosen ones. That's for sure. You know. But
And I think I agree with you on that. And I think that a lot of times, like you said, you hit on it a little bit when you said not knowing your purpose, not knowing who you are, plays a significant it makes a significant difference in how you show up to the world, your perception, your perspective on who you are as an individual and a person. Those things matter. I also think having difficult conversations, and I feel like a lot of times when it comes to relationships, we're not transparent, just even with parents, right? Parents and children relationship. We're not transparent with our children. We don't let them see our vulnerability. Like we don't tell them like, hey, I need you to cut them lights off because the light bill was high last month. And we don't talk about those things. We allow them to feel like everything is perfect. And so when they grow up and they become adults, they have a hard time dealing with life because they never seen anyone in their life be vulnerable or just be honest and transparent about the different issues that we deal with as individuals and people. I always say one of my favorite scriptures is guard your heart with all diligence because out of it flows the issues of life. A lot of times we don't know what that means. We think guard means to, put up a wall, but it means to be mindful of how you operate and who you let in your circle, your space.
Can you see me?
I see you will.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I never looked at it that perspective. Looked at it that way from that perspective. That's a great perspective. That's a really great perspective. I think for me,
so what steps can we take? Like right now, we see kids are unruly. I made a post earlier today and I'm going to see if I can find it. But I was basically talking about when it comes to women, right? And people had a lot of different opinions. I said a nation can rise no higher than its women, right? And it was a lot of men who made comments like, bull crap, women, y'all the reason we messed up today, da 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 da. But I think that, we have gotten into this place of not protecting the women that are around us. Women carry children in their wombs, right? We carry babies in our womb. Whatever we feel, whatever we're going through, whatever we're experiencing, right, at that most vulnerable time, you transfer that to your children, those children, and then the environment that those kids grow up in. If you're stressed out, if you're going through, and I do feel like fathers are very important, and this is why fathers are important. If you are stressed out, if you are going through, if you are having a hard time and difficulties and you don't feel protected or loved, you pass that flow to your children. And then now what we're seeing men, women. Hold on one second. Can you go plug it in for me? We see men, we see women who are basically stressed out in a position where they're hurt and not healing. We're around the other way. They're hurt, they're not healing, and we're seeing the manifestation of that in our children, in our environment. Our kids are lost. They don't know how to deal with life. They are all about the struggle, the hurt, the pain, the frustration, and it's causing us problems.
So Michelle, what is stress?
Pressing the button for me so make it come back on. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on with my system. Hold on. Okay, it's back in action. Hold on, my camera just. All right, hold on. Can y'all see me still? You said what is stress? Speak on it.
Right, because I think like
You went off the camera. I'm sorry, we having a little technical difficulties here right now.
All right. I can see you.
It's not coming on. You gotta press in that other thing. All right.
Thing okay over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. My light went off, so we're trying to cut it back on. Still not working. Did you press in the red one? Yeah, because it ain't coming back on. So something is not right. Still no different. Hold on 1 second. We are having a technical difficulty. But go ahead. You can still keep talking.
Okay.
Got it.
So
It's like,
basically you were talking about stress. Everybody's
okay.
stressed out.
It's not working. Everybody's stressed out. Go ahead.
So here's the definition of stress. Stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation.
Mhm.
Stress is a natural human response that prompts us to address challenges and threats in our lives. Everyone experiences stress to some degree, but again, it's a state of worry or mental tension. Key word, worry. I'm either going to trust my higher power or I'm not.
That's true.
I'm not. And again, man, at the end of this thing, I'm telling you, man, when it comes to these romantic relationships with black kings and black queens, it's
Mhm.
it is a spiritual order. And this is something else I didn't recognize. I just chose to be difficult and have a king baby syndrome going on. It's a
Okay.
spiritual order. It's God. It's man. Man follows, practices, and connects to God. The woman automatically follows man, and the children follow man, woman, man, and God. If listen, at the end of everything, if God ain't in it, it ain't gonna work. I don't care how you dress it up, what kind of trauma you got, what you've been through, molestation issues, substance abuse, rape when you was a kid, watching people get killed on your face. I don't care. I don't care. Loss of mothers, loss of best friends, whatever it is, man. If God is not in it, ain't nothing happening. Gooseneck, flat out. Because I'm telling you, baby girl, I did everything I possibly can do in my previous marriage. There's two things I did not do. I did not pray with my wife every morning and every night, and we did not seek. We sought out counsel. Here's something else. This is really good. We sought out counsel twice,
Hmm.
only twice.
I think that you're on to something right there now.
Feel me? Only twice. So if that's the case, and if I was misinformed by the misinformed, and I knew I needed help, it's just like us, all three of us going to the doctor saying, "Hey, my back hurting." Okay, this is what's wrong with your back. You don't stop going to the doctor. You keep going. You do checkups. We only did a couple. We only did a couple marriage counselors, and we stopped.
Yeah, you figure like this. It's required to get a physical every year. Every time you
Yup.
feel sick, you go to the doctor. But when it comes to mental health or even just counsel in a relationship or any of that, we never seek help. We try to deal with all our issues on our own instead of actually seeking help.
That's
Because
ego.
I feel like a lot of the problems that men and women face when it comes to relationships, a lot of it has to do with lack of communication and the inability to understand each other and what the other person needs.
That's ego. And I'm
Ego.
easing God out, man. Ego.
Using
Ego,
God out.
ego and lack of intimacy. And see, here's the thing: when we hear that word intimacy, we think about, check this out. We think about, most of
Speak
the
on
time,
it.
top of our brain says we think about intimacy. We thinking about physical intimacy, not the actual act of intercourse. We're thinking about physical intimacy off the top of the brain.
Hmm. But we're not even talking about that.
No. We're talking about
Mhm.
intimacy. Into me, I see.
Good.
I'm gonna let you see. I'm gonna let you see into me.
I like that.
Dark place,
The end.
soft,
I want to repeat that. The
strong
end
place.
to me you see. The end to me you see. That's good.
Yes,
I'm allowing you to see into me.
right. Yeah. A lot of guys
That's
don't do.
good.
A lot of us don't do that. I'm one that's built different. My life is an open book. I stand on top of Terminal Tower and tell my whole story. You hear me?
That's dope. I think that the ability to be transparent, and a lot of people don't understand this, is when you can be vulnerable and you can talk about your vulnerabilities, you can overcome them. When you can cry, when you can speak on your hurt, when you can move past it in a healthy way, you are a better person for it. Nobody is built to hold all of that in.
I
We're
tell you,
just not built for that.
Michelle, I will tell you this. I will tell you this. The only way I started to embrace my true vulnerability is I had to remove some vices I had.
Mm,
I had some serious vices, man, that was blocking me from the sunlight of God. It was blocking me, not from the outside sunlight, from the inside sunlight.
I get that.
I ain't perfect. I ain't got it all together, but I'm talking about some of the stuff I found. You understand what I'm saying? Now here's
That's
something doing.
good.
Now you talking about what can we do? What's the solution here, right?
Yes.
Solution. This lady that I'm in a serious friendship with. Guess what we're getting ready to do? We're going to relationship counseling, not marriage counseling. Yeah,
That's good.
that's like
And somebody just mentioned that Eileen said, "Would either of you do relationship counseling?"
we're going. Me and my friend is going on the 19th.
That's awesome.
Relationship counseling. You know what I'm saying? Not to look at her to see if she qualifies. You heard me? To look at me and see if I qualify, and even to find out if I'm healthy enough. Because I really
That's
like this lady.
real.
But check this out. The reality of it, baby girl, is I might not be in a healthy state
That's
right
dope, though.
right
I
now.
think I think that just the fact that you're willing to do that, because I think sometimes, like I was just saying, you get a physical once a year, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to be sick to get a physical. You just get it just to make sure you good and you're healthy. I feel like counseling should be like that. I feel like, when it comes to a relationship, if you enter into a relationship, I think that we would be a lot better off as a people, and especially when it comes to black love and black relationships and the black family, which is an endangered species right now. I feel like if we took the time out to seek counseling before there is a problem, before there is an issue, we would a save ourselves a lot of hurt, pain, and frustration, by becoming involved with a person that's not ready. And I think that we would get ahead of some of the issues and problems that occurs in relationships by learning how to communicate effectively.
I'm in total agreement with that one. Yeah, but yeah, I'm in total agreement. Yeah, so like I'm getting ready to be real transparent right now. Hey man,
Please keep it real. We
I'm
need to
going.
hear it.
Hey, I'm going to. That's the one thing I haven't talked to her about. Right? She's probably watching right now. But one of the things is, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow if we sit in front of this lady and this lady tells me, "Well, Brian," and counselors have a way of making you answer your own questions. You feel what I'm saying? Making you answer
Hmm.
your your own questions. And
Absolutely.
if it comes up that I'm not healthy enough to be in a relationship, we're just great friends right now. I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
Not gonna
That's
do
real
it because
talk.
I'm not gonna do it, and I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to. I'm not gonna move forward because I don't want to hurt nobody else.
That's that's such a mature, grown up, grown up way to be. And that's pretty dope.
Well, I learned that. I learned that from hurting people. Okay,
Yeah.
you hear me? I learned that
That's
from
real
hurting
talk.
people as well as myself. You know? Yeah. But like right now, I'm a king, man, and I'm claiming it, and I know what I am, and I know who's I am, and I'm either gonna spread love and light or nothing.
And that's real talk.
Love and light or nothing.
And that's a great note for us to end on right
Yeah.
there. We're going to share love and light or nothing at all. I want to thank you, Brian, for coming on here, for having this crucial conversation, juicy talk tonight, y'all.
Thank you.
I thank you for coming on, for talking to us, for giving us the male perspective, because I know a lot of times I've been running into men stating like we don't when they listen to my podcast that I don't have the male perspective on here enough. And I'm glad who better than you, Brian, because you kept it all the way 100. You was 100% transparent, and I thank you for coming on, for having this conversation with us. It was awesome. Thank you for my sidekick, my niecey Pooh, Jazzy B back here,
Yes.
and thank you so much for everybody that tuned in, that was a part of this. It really was awesome. If you didn't get the opportunity to see it from the beginning, please go check out my YouTube channel, my Shell BB. Check it out, and you can watch it from the beginning. Thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate you, and this was an amazing discussion.
I hope I was an
You got
asset.
you were definitely an asset, and I would like to invite you to come on again. Don't be a stranger. Don't let this be um, your last time coming on.
Cool. I'm a phone call away, sis.
All right, then. Sounds good. Thank
Yep.
you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and you guys have a great evening. Peace out.